AOSC 10, race 185, as we line them up on the grid, waiting for the lights to come up. Race is not too far away. I hope you've got all your beverages. You've got us up on YouTube. Here we go. Get set. All on the grid. Lights are out. Race is underway now. Let's see this. Can James Scott get a good start? Borgie pulls out too. Can he make a move? Maybe he looks like he's gone past Freya, who's had a... No, Freya's got away soon. I'm just having a look who that is down the back who's moved down. That might be Aaron Dodd or Bailey Frid. Might be Bailey Frid.
Frid had a shocker getting off the line there.
Yeah, Frid just moved back, and he's already back 4 positions. So just going to have to watch it coming here under brakes. Brian Borg looks like he's on the inside with the left-hander here. That's it. Oh, a little bit of contact, I think, in the back there between, was that Briggs and Freya. Now, Brian Borg's made his way up into 5th, so he's actually come good out of that after a little bit of contact there in the back of the pack. Now, James Scott has had to slot in behind Corey Shepherd. They've had a fairly even start on this one. And how patient is he going to be? Because Jordan Ross isn't being patient. He's putting it all out there, and James Scott has to be evasive already. They're coming to the hairpin, though. He gets a nice run coming out of that one. So, all right, so you can see Shepherd is the leading this. Can he hold on, though? He's got another 200 and... probably about another 280 kilometres to go. He's got to hold out just some bloke called James Scott who's leading the championship at the moment. I don't know, like, can he do it? Let's hope it's fingers crossed, mate, maybe. So Scott up on screen at the moment. Shepherd just opens that gap up a little bit more. You can see 200ths of a second this time round. Shepherd gets him on this lap number 10 it was. So I think he's just settling in there at the moment, waiting for his opportunity there. Scott, Shepherd doing a nice job out in front though, and they're the similar time. So last lap it was a 141.67 from Shepherd and a 141.69 from Scott. So they are so evenly matched. However, last week, and he's probably had a couple of rounds where it hasn't been super lucky for him, and him and Corey in the endurance got caught up in a bit of traffic there and had some incident races as well. But here we go, a bit of a move. What's Scott going to do? He puts the nose in too. He's going to do it. Gets the job done. Down into the hairpin and runs wide. Gives it back to Corey Shepherd.
Yeah, it was a smart move from Shepherd there. He kind of just lured Scott into that move, and James not able to pull that car up on the Apex Air and runs a little wide. So Shepherd, while he's been out front, he had James looking at every opportunity to get through, still played the smart card there and just sort of forced James into that little bit of an error.
Yeah, smart driving from Corey Shepherd. I mean, he's a young fella, but he definitely got a racing head on him at the moment, and keeping cool and calm and collected when you got someone like James Scott behind you. Just shows a lot of experience. I know they do a lot of sim racing, both Shepherd and Scott, but for someone Shepherd's age, it's fantastic to see that he can already see what's going to happen, do the smart thing, let him go by, and then get the undercut back on the inside. Here we go, into the pits, late entry.
Very late entry into the pit lane there. And
he is there. Shepherd coming around, closing that gap down. Eagerly watching these times down at Norrie to see what happens there. Look, Shepherd's coming around. We know pit exit, though, is after turn number 1. Scott will be on the move now. Can he get the undercut done? No.
And actually, he's lost a handful of time off the back of this one as a result of those couple of laps longer run for him.
Yeah, that's not really what he wanted, didn't he? I mean, he's going to come back out behind Shepherd. Shepherd now has a nice little lead over him.
But he is going to be able to pull that back. I just heard a call over race control that safety car is being deployed as well. So this is going to bring him back into contention.
A little hairpin. There you go. The Jinx Shifters AMG will pull away now and start to head off into pit lane. It's all down to Corey Shepherd from this little kink onwards. Here we go. Any time from now, Corey Shepherd can get this race back underway. James Scott gets back under there. A little bit of a gap back to Jordan Ross. Ross is going to have to watch these two in front as well if he wants to stay in the back. Dylan Rudd's ready for it. Borgie's off the back of that one. Andrew Dyson in 6th. Briggs in 7th. Aaron Dodd in 9th. In 8th. 10th is Johnson. 9th is Johnson. 10th is Hins. Let's see how the restart goes on this one. Looks like they're single file. Borgie, though, on the outside, as it looks like Dylan Rudd may have been a little bit slow to react to that one. It's pushed Borgie back a little bit now. He's under. Dyson goes by as well. Here we go. We've got to run on, and following Dyson's going to be his teammate Briggs as well. Can they get it done? Borg on the outside, so he's going to be on the inside of the left-hander. He's pushed wide, though. Will he hold on to this one?
down almost into this exact same spot as we watch James and Corey continue it. We have heard from race control now. Johnson does need to redress that position with Borgie. So we'll see this fight recommence again once this was all taken aback. As James Scott now down the inside. We saw this move didn't work for him before, and again, didn't work for him this time. He's almost going to lose another spot there to Jordan Ross.
I do admit I had to look up and see if the replay sign was up then, because apart from Jordan Ross in the background, that was nearly an identical replay to what we saw in the first stint.
Sitting on the top 10 at the moment, so he's 4 spots to go as there's another change of position up the front here. James Scott will get this move completed this time through, and Briggs also trying to get the move similarly done on the back of Dylan Rowe. He is really struggling to get a good run together here, and hopefully coming forward he's going to see that luck change for him as we see another move down into the hairpin. Corey Shepherd will complete this pass here on one Mustang on another as he slots that move through there on Jordan Ross. But
so hard to follow here in this race. It's been a fantastic night. 300 kilometres. Who would have thought that so much action would be happening all at once across the entire race? What a fantastic race here for 185 of the AOSC. It's round number 10 here at Hockenheim, Germany. We're down to the last couple of laps. We're on lap 64 or 65, so we're on the second last lap. It's the penultimate lap. Here we go. We're going to head into the last lap in just a second. You can see this, James Scott leading, but he's been coasting. He's been fuel saving. I'm looking up at my screen and I do have a fuel level here, guys, from what it's telling me on our little screen. It's going to be close for Mr. Scott.
Yeah, he doesn't have much in it. There's a car in front to the lap car, the 177, Roderick Hollis, just ahead. So don't expect him to be involved in this one as well. But and right on cue, just steps aside to let this fantastic paddle continue on. But as we hit the white flag now, it's 17 opportunities, or 16 now, opportunities left for Corey Shepherd to try and get this move completed.
Look at Scott using the outer limits of the track too, so he can keep that nice flow, doesn't have to accelerate as hard. He's going to have to be super defensive because when he crossed the line, I'm not liking the fuel level I'm seeing, guys. It's tight, really tight on this lap. So my prediction is if he finishes, he won't be finishing another lap afterwards. He's going to run out. So watch this for Shepherd. He's only got the final lap to make the move. Of course, Scott goes super defensive going into the hairpin at turn number 6. Doesn't lock it up this time though. Scott does well. Shepherd spins the wheels coming out of there. I think Shepherd though is all right. He has a fair bit of fuel on board, a little bit more than Scott. So he took a lot more time in the pits last time. 4.5 seconds though on the last pit stop. But that was back in lap 43. Pending a safety car as Scott slides the car a little bit as he comes out. Here we go. They're getting into a little bit of a battle as they go through turn number 10. Shepherd on the outside, using the outer limits of the track. They're coming down the last final corners. What have we got? 5 corners left to go. Turn 11 here. The battle for position number 1 after 300 kilometres. It's come down to this. It's less than 0.2 of a second. Scott running out of fuel at the moment. James Scott has to do everything he can. Has to put the elbows out. Ironically enough, it's his teammate Brian Borg for Corey Shepherd, who is the king of being defensive. And now Shepherd's got to deal with someone who's just as good at Borgie at holding him out. Here we go, the finish line in sight. Looks like he's going to make it home. The fuel almost about to run out. And there we go. He makes it home. Super impressive drivers in front of him. One of those has just joined us from second position tonight. Again, it's a familiar spot for him, and I know he was so close to the goal, but you got him in qualifying, Corey Shepherd.
Got him in qualifying. I was really happy with that. Led at the start, and that was all going to plan. We were kind of trying to make sure we kept him behind as long as we could, and they were saving fuel behind me, so we knew we were kind of going to get a bit of a disadvantage in the pits. But we did what we could and tried to get past Jordan towards the end, and try and close the gap to James, which we did, but just didn't have enough to pass him.
Yeah, but a super impressive race, and like we say, they're not too many years behind you. You're a young fella, and definitely some moments there where James Scott under brakes. Was that a bit nervous there in the hairpin when he tried to get you and lock the brakes up?
Yeah, I saw him coming. I thought I better not turn in because if he hit me on an angle, I was pretty much gone. So I thought I'd keep it squared up, and then he just gave me a bit of a push, and we kept playing on. So that was all good.
So, what is the next thing that you need to practice as your team? Your teammate Brian Borg is the king of defensive driving. Is that something that you're practicing as a team?
Yeah, we're always practicing things like race runs and attacking, defending, the whole lot. I think we're improving each week, and we just need to take a few more steps, and then we can start maybe hopefully going for some race wins.
Mate, well, you can't whinge about getting on the podium so often. I mean, you've been really good driver in the series, and but James Scott, super outstanding, and to be that close behind him after 300 kilometres, hats off to you, mate. Great race.
Thanks, guys.
Is there anyone you need to thank before you go?
Yeah, I need to thank my sponsor, Mr. Antenna, all the guys at Premier Racing Team, and you guys for putting on the broadcast.
No worries, mate, and I'm sure we will talk to you in the next couple of rounds.
Cheers. See you then.
So, well, that was second place, Corey Shepherd. Another big night there, and he almost got there again, the Mr. Antenna Mustang, but just